so anytime you've got some specialized hardware that your solution requires, all of a sudden it breaks down, because guess what? And GPU is a great case in point. Clearly, NVIDIA, amazing company. They have a lot of coverage. Their GPUs are quote everywhere, right? But it's not true that they are everywhere. They're not in every machine. And more importantly, the GPU that maybe I integrated or I built my system around might only be in a couple regions, even in a gigantic network like AWS. I mean, it's possible, right? And so right there, I've got trade-offs. And I go, okay, what do I do? It's true, I can mostly flex into the cloud, but, and so there were these gaps. Now, with Akamai and the connected cloud adopting VPUs, and because we are, up until this point, we have been really exclusively installed in private data centers or private clouds or on premises, because that's how our customers used it. And frankly, that's what was available. You had to kind of run it yourself if you were going to use a VPU. Now, though, they're rolling this out, so it's not available on day one, but, across the Akamai network, you're going to be able to access VPUs. And so exactly to your point about you have your own data centers, and I know a lot of your business is concentrated in Germany and, Western Europe. And so maybe you can serve a lot of that business even from there. But what do you do in the US? What do you do in Southeast Asia? What do you do in Latin America? Or even other parts of Europe, where maybe there would be good reasons, so.
Yeah, and we were very happy when we could test the VPUs in Akamai's virtual
I know
machines.
You were. I remember the smile on your face when you learned that they were going to be available.
So our tests already have run on US West Coast and in Germany and in Asia. So it's good to have that power distributed over at least some of the Akamai locations.
Yeah,
and we also see that with the GPU business, so we can use GPUs. We use them for some use cases for whisper speech to text translation.
Right.
And we can use them also for video encoding, because the SDK, we are using the Norse SDK from Ideas. They can also support GPUs, but what we hear and see in the market is that as GPUs can also be used for all things AI, they are in high demand currently.
Yes.
And so we hear that the probability for you to have a certain NVIDIA instance not being available is much higher than for a normal instance without a GPU. So that also, if there is a high season for live streaming, the risk is higher if you depend on GPUs that just AWS doesn't have them available in that
just
region
doesn't
that
have
you need
it.
them.
Yeah, exactly. Even if they're, and that's a very good point too. Yeah, and I'm not even trying to, make the case GPU versus VPU. I was, but you raise a very good point. Is that, even if a GPU is physically available, it's very likely not available because it's already booked. Doing a whole bunch of model training for, some large new foundational model, or inferencing or whatever. It might be used for. So, yeah, cool.